Hey everyone, Shiny Lucario here, and welcome to an update video. This is something that I've been needing to talk about and explain to you guys for like a long time now. I would say ever since I started my first Let's Play of, of Pokemon Red. This is going to be a very serious video, so I'm going to put my arm down like this, and be serious, and I'll be able to tell you them. But we do need to talk about some things. Mostly to explain why my upload schedule, everything like this is very random, and all the breaks I was taking during that time, just to kind of explain to you what was actually going on in my life to explain these situations. First, to let you know, I am not ending YouTube, so that's a good thing. I am still making videos. At least I tried to. Second, no, I'm not a wanted criminal, so don't worry about it. Nothing wrong there. Nothing with the law has been broken for me. So, I am good. Is this controversial, though? In a very small way, I guess. Uh, but I think by the end of this, you'll understand what's actually going on. Because this is just a very hard thing to do, to talk about for me. Not only is it hard for me to talk about, it's just hard for me to like think about this stuff all the time. Because I've been, like you said, I've been holding this in for like years now to let y'all know what is going on in my life, so you understand more of who I am, that I'm a person, and that things happen to us that we can't always expect, or we get blindsided, don't see everything at first. So my channel started October 11th, 2014. That's when I first created my account for YouTube. And at this time, I was in the upper half of high school. So I was a junior at the time, heading into being a senior, and then graduating from the high school in 2015. So, be honest with you, I kept the channel empty for a while. I was trying to think of what this channel was going to be, what I wanted to post on there. It started out normal with regular, like, just showing things off, random things about games in Nintendo, Pokemon, and stuff like that. My first video, I remember, was a two-part video that I did about 9 years ago now. Almost 10 years ago, actually, I think about it. It's getting close to it, but, uh, well, it was just me showing off my shinies. And, for most people that start YouTube, you usually don't have the best equipment, if that makes sense. You're just starter, you don't know anything probably, and most of the time you're young when you start your YouTube channel. You don't know much about technology, how it works, or what you really need to do things. But as you get older, you do start doing better. Things look clearer, your audio gets better, everything gets better. Usually be from either getting paid from YouTube or affiliate of ads and stuff. So just different things kind of add up as you start doing better, making more videos and just doing the typical everyday uploads like they do nowadays, apparently. Because apparently, for some reason, you have to upload a video every day just to stay relevant nowadays, which is kind of ridiculous, I guess, and kind of hard on people now. So, but I don't make the rules. Okay, so to continue back to the story, so I was doing that, showing different weird things, but obviously my camera footage was just from a cell phone, so it didn't look the best. So I actually bought a camera, and during this time, I'd say during that time, I'd been through probably 2 real life jobs that I was working at during the time, and eventually I was still young, so I was like, I have time, things will get better, things will work out eventually. Come low to know, that never happened. And I thought things were going to get better in the workplace for people, but seeing how the years went on and literally my life was getting to a point that I kept wondering, am I even going to keep a job? Am I going to be at a job long enough to even support someone? Can I even do anything to live on my own and stuff? And I kept questioning all this stuff through my head when I was young, like thinking all this stuff because I was kind of like thinking of the future in a way. But so 2018 came around. I was at my third job at that time in real life, and that's when the trailer came out for me to start my first ever Let's Play, which was, if most people know, is who know my channel is Pokemon Red, and I love that project. One of my favorites to do. I felt like it was a good thing to start out with. Yes, the camera footage was not good. I understand that because this was before I had OBS and everything, knowing what I could do with it. And I just filmed everything holding my 2DS in front of a camera screen and hoping it went well. I didn't even edit things. So you can see how bad that was. But surprisingly, for how it went, even though they knew, it's like they knew it wasn't going to be good, but they watched it anyways and enjoyed it. And I was like, maybe this is my path of where things start getting better. Well, lo and behold, I get about 2 years in and have to leave that third job due to a lot of problems in the workforce, a lot of problems I don't want to talk about personally on here, and I'm sure a lot of people understand, like, bullying in the workplace is a thing. People do that. It's just a problem right now. This is why a lot of people don't want to work right now. Not just because of that, but because of other things going on in their life. Like, you think about things are different than like when I was growing up back in the 2000s or 90s. So yeah, things are changing. I feel like my beard. But yeah, so the project started when I was at the job. I quit the job and I was like, okay, now I gotta find another job. And basically at this point, I kept hiating every episode after a while, doing a few of them, and then taking a long break because I kept having this happen to me for years where I'd work for a job maybe about a year and then leave. Either because I quit or I got fired from the job or something happened. I don't know. I'm not going to talk much about the places I worked at. I don't want to give names or anything, so yeah, I'm going to avoid that part. But basically to say, this lasted for a long time, and my breaking point for this was 2023. But before I get into that, I do want to talk about how 2020 also affected me a lot. Not just because of COVID, but because of that was just really a rough year for everyone. I got sick one time, some of my family got sick multiple times, so People just got hurt a lot. It was a rough time. 2021 was no better, but we were trying to heal from it. So yeah. So that was going on. That made things harder to do things, especially when you have the virus at the time. I only had it once. I don't have it anymore, luckily, so I'm safe since then. Cross my fingers, knock on wood, that I don't ever get it again. That was probably one of the roughest times I ever felt in my life. Worse than being made fun of. So, but yeah. Then years kept going by, and I kept recording some, but then going on longer breaks and longer breaks and longer breaks. And I'm sure I lost subscribers, I lost people, and lost people's trust after a while. I understand that. That's fine. You didn't know what was going on, so I don't blame you. But I'm kind of glad I am growing again a little bit. I am now in 30 something subscribers right now, so that's pretty good. But let's get to the big part now. The bigger parts. 2023 was the year everything kind of was changing a little bit for me better, but it still wasn't like fully, like I was fully healed or something. And like when I recorded all this stuff back in the day, 2023, when I finished up Pokemon Red finally, that was a relief, obviously, to get that out of the way. But I did enjoy the project, just so to let you know. Nothing, like I never hated this, and I wasn't like really stressed over it. I was more stressed over what was going on in my real life. So, because when you're literally just working different jobs a year, some things just don't work out like you expect them to. Like, because when you're younger, you see your future differently than you do as like getting older to that moment. Then you're like, and you realize nothing's been changing. But then, like, I could say, like, I mean, I'm almost 30, and literally, this was the pushing point for me to realize, like, things need to change. If you hear that. But yeah, things had to change. I'm maturing. I'm getting older. Uh, heading towards 30s is different than being in your 20s, they say. I'm not there yet, but I've heard a lot of people tell me that were older than me. So 2023 came, as I said, and this was the point that I realized something needed to change about this. Instead of being job to job, eventually, if I had too many jobs and I tried to go find another job, eventually I would stop getting hired at places. If you kind of understand how I feel about that, or understand how workforce works. Because, yes, it's good to have resumes, but when you have literally like a list of, like, I don't know, multiple jobs you've been at, and that shows you've only been there like maybe a year or something, or less than that, it doesn't not look good on you. So, and at that point, I was in the double digits of how many jobs I had at that point, and it was not looking good for me. So 2023 came around. I applied for a certain plan I'm not going to talk about that you can get through the government and through your doctor and different things. So in 2023, I went to a special doctor to get some things figured out to see what's going on, and they kind of diagnosed me with something that affected my mental state. So this was the sign that they put me that I needed to be on a lot of medicine and a lot of different things had to change about my life. Basically, I could not do a job like that anymore. A physical job where I'm not doing labor. I cannot do that anymore. I can do YouTube and stuff online. I can do that stuff, but think this is different though than like going out and actually like I don't know doing construction or something like that. And plus nowadays with a lot of things needing either a college diploma or a degree or something, and I did not go to college after high school. I just went straight into the job force. Uh, I knew that was not an option. So, so basically, I applied for this program in 2023, and eventually we did have to get it decided in court with a lawyer that was on my side. And this took a while before the court case even happened. They had to do a lot of paperwork I had to sign, a lot of things I had to do and stuff. So, and eventually, I believe it was 2 years after that. During the time between 2023 and 2025, I was doing little side jobs, but eventually I had to leave those two. And that was 2025 when I got a phone call saying I had to appear in court over the phone to a judge about this. They had to decide if I was eligible for it. Luckily for me, everything went well, and as of August of last year, I know on this plan I get money every month, and it does help. So now I'm like, okay, my financial structure is doing better now. So that's good. Now, the other reasons for these delays that need to be talked about. These are more recent, though, and these have been affecting me more towards this year and a little bit of last year, my social life. So the first thing started when around the end of last year, October, I downloaded TikTok just to see what all the hype was all about. I kept seeing it on the news, kept seeing it online, everything. I was like, okay, I'll get TikTok, see what it is. I made an account. I would take pictures of myself as selfies and post them on. People would like them. I tried to find people that I was friends with through school, through life, through everything, and just friend them and talk to them more. But then I started getting a lot of different people trying to friend me who I didn't know personally. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know anything about them. They were from either different states or different areas I never lived in. So yeah, and a lot of them were girls or women. So not to make them look bad. They're not bad people. I understand. Women are good. But I talked to three different girls on there I didn't know. Just kind of just spark conversation and ended up in finding that a lot of people you don't know on there that may follow you are either bots or scammers. And if you're wondering, yes, Shiny fell for this the first few times, thinking people were actually real. But learned some things from this, and yeah, let's start with the first person. The first person was first woman. I'm not gonna give her name. I'm not gonna give names to any of these people or location or anything. So don't worry, everything's fine. But first girl, very ambiguous about winning money, obviously through Apple cards. And to say if you're talking to someone on TikTok and they're asking you for money in the first place, you just end it there because there's no point. They're a real person. Just to say. Plus, she also said like explicit things, explicit pictures to me, things that I can't talk about or I'll get in trouble. Fine, second girl. Sorry, I broke that off after finding out some things. Second girl, she was very. She was kind of the same way, just without the weird pictures and stuff. So I talked to her. We didn't even last long in there. It was January to January, so I was starting a new year kind of in a rough state too. Then February came along, and this is where the third girl comes in, and she is probably the worst one of the three of them. Usually they say three times the charm. Well, not for me. this girl was very, she wasn't just a scammer, she also had a lying problem. Came to find out through other means that everything she was telling me was either made up or just not true at all. She lied about a lot of things to cover up a lot of herself, to make people feel bad for her, so she would give them money. And yes, that is a tactic. People do that, but uh, sometimes after a while, though, certain things get a little concerning. This girl wasn't alone, is what I'm trying to say. She had other people on her side to also scam people. Basically, to say she had a lawyer, or I should say, a scammer who played a lawyer. So, yeah. She would try to get her way any way she could with this lawyer to make it seem like she was legit no matter what. And yeah, that was after a while I was like, I'm not playing into this anymore. It's just stupid. Nothing's making sense anymore. To make this make even more sense, this lawyer, if he was even one, wanted people to pay her in Bitcoin. That was also a red flag. So, yeah. But she wouldn't take cash or credit or debit, which are usually the main ways people pay a lawyer. So, things got weird with that. She wanted. I told her I could not. No one could pay in Bitcoin to a lawyer that I know of. She's like, yeah, they can. And she's like, and I'm like, do you have any other ways? She's like, you can also do Apple cards or gift cards, and that also was another red flag because nothing about this was making sense at any point. I was confused by everything. I was getting flustered by everything. This was literally this month. This happened around the time. It was just eventually came to find out through the police department where she lived because they called me and I found out this person was lying about everything, her name, everything. And she has luckily, as I've found out recently, she has been arrested. So I don't know about the fake lawyer or anything about that, but I do find it a little weird that the lawyer could only talk on WhatsApp. That doesn't sound professional either. So a lot of the things, very confusing things. I'm just glad even though I got scammed out of a lot of money from her, I'm glad I finally realized to myself that this is not right. So yeah. Sorry if this is a lot. I understand. Like a lot of this will be a lot to take in. Please, if you need to take a break, pause this or anything, that's okay. I understand. But got one more thing to talk about before I end this video and get to the better part of the video. And this is something that literally has been the heart-shaking part for me this whole time. So you're like, oh, you've been through bad jobs, you've been through living problems, you've been through weird hackers or scammers or something. Like, what could be worse than that? There is. And it literally just happened yesterday. So for people that don't understand or people that are young still, you probably have a few friends you're growing up with, or if you don't have many friends, you probably just make the best out of your life the best you can right now. But yeah, so literally just yesterday, we have finally ended between me and my best friend being best friends anymore. We are no longer seeing each other. And it took this long for me to figure out. We've known each other since third grade, which was early mid 2000s, around that time when we were still kids. We've known each other for basically over 20 years. People will be like, wow, that's amazing. That's a long time to be friends with someone. Yeah. That was my problem. Because basically to say, I thought things would change eventually. Things did not change. For me, they did. I matured, got older as I got older and stuff, but my friend, I feel like, had a little problem with that or something. I don't know what it was with him. We were fine throughout school and everything. He would talk to me about stuff and was very open and everything about stuff to me, but I think it was like after we got out of high school. Because after that, I felt like that's when our time should have ended as friends, and it didn't. We kept going on about things, acting normal as usual, and then my friend starts his first job after he graduated and everything, and I don't know what happened during this time of him acting different towards people or acting different towards me or his other friends and stuff, but slowly and slowly I was starting to see that we weren't really much we were starting to become less and less of friends after high school. It's not that we didn't want to talk to each other or see each other and stuff. We did, but there's this like point where people need to let go. And I did not realize this till now about this. I do blame myself for part of that too, but I do feel like if something was going on and my friend was tired of it, he should have told me something a long time ago. But he never said a word. Me and him, we were getting older and older throughout the years of our 20s, and be honest with you, I really don't know, like what happened. He started getting more quiet about things. He wasn't talking like he used to a lot. He wasn't, it felt like he changed, but in a way that wasn't mature, yet was also secretive. First to say though, I don't blame him for changing that way. Everyone changes differently. I understand that. Everyone matures differently. That's just part of life. That's why people usually after high school kind of feel different about who they're around and who they talk to and stuff. I understand that. But for me and him, when it should have ended a long time ago, went to a point of we had to get to the worst possible moment just for me to go wide awake about this and realize this ain't right anymore. And literally just deciding this yesterday was probably probably, and it still is right now, the hardest thing to have to deal with and think about right now. Because, like I said, I've known this guy for over 20 years, and it's like so I've basically known him almost my entire childhood of growing up and everything. We've known each other for so long, and then all of a sudden, it's like one stupid mistake from both of our sides led to this. I blame myself. Blame my friend. I blame how this world acts. I just blame a lot of things. What's going on right now? Some things don't make sense right now, but if you're going through something like this, like I've been through, or you know something's coming up soon or something like this, feel like it's going to be happening, just know I understand how you feel. Because going through it, I've even had death in the family. I've had a lot of death in the family recent within the 2010s, so I know how like things go. Because I'm just saying, people like me, we need this mercy right now. We need a little relaxation, a little time off, to just get through this copious period that we're going through. This hard thoughts and everything, because I mean, this was a hard video to make actually for me to do it today, just right after this happened. So I'm trying to be as like tough as I can, not crying and stuff to keep you entertained about this. But yeah, basically, it's like letting go of something you've held on to for a long time. It may be hard, but sometimes letting go of that person or letting go of the situation is sometimes the right thing to do in life. So yeah, don't think that was not a creepy spot, but yeah. So hopefully this is enough to explain and apologize to you guys for this weird time of me right now, transitioning from my 20s and soon be heading into my 30s. So I will continue to be making videos. There will still be gameplay. Hopefully not more of these, because be honest with you, not only am I mad about this, but I hate having to make videos like this, because it just hurts to know that just a simple person can go through some of the hardest things within small amounts of time like this. So yeah, you at home maybe laugh to get the same problem and everything like, oh, I'm like, you're not in my position. You can't tell me how to do things. So I will not be making videos for a little bit, because I will need to be healing from all this. So any support in the comments would be nice. Uh, yeah, anything would help. You don't have to give me money or anything. I'm not gonna do that stuff, but don't worry about that. But just just think about it, because it's not just my problem. It could be someone else's problem too. See what I mean? So yeah, things eventually will be back with the healing process. It might take a few months, so you may not see me till maybe, I don't know, like after summer or who knows when, whenever I just feel ready to get back at it. So yeah. Sorry about this somber video. Uh, it's I don't like I said, I'm like making these so I don't like to make people sad. I'm more for entertainment, make people feel good about their life, but sometimes it's good to let it out. So just let people hear. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, like and subscribe, comment anything you want to. I don't care what it is, as long as it's not illegal or against the law. And basically to say, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.